Good evening, I'm Melissa Khan with our Friday, August 28th edition of News in Depth. We begin tonight's newscast by telling you archery charged with the murder of Canadian citizen. More in this report.
3 men were today charged and remanded for the murder of Canadian citizen Nicholas Jaipal. This comes days after human remains believed to be that of the missing Canadian citizen Nicholas Jaipal were found in the bushes in Corriverton. The trio appeared before Magistrate Alex Moore via Zoom this morning, where the indictable charge was read to them. It is alleged that Monisar Biari called Brickhead, Azim Shivgobin called Blackie, and Charan Shahad called Vicky between August 16th to August 20th at Molson Creek murdered Jaipal. The trio were not required to plead to the charge. One of the suspects reportedly confessed to police investigators and took the lawmen to a location at Molson Creek, Corentyne Berbice, where the gruesome discovery was made. The trio were remanded to prison and will make their next court appearance on October 15th at the Springlands Magistrates Court.
More news after this break.
Shh. It's your new secret. The all-in-one weapon for perfecting imperfections and capturing flawless skin. A lot of brands forget women of color or just don't understand that we come in all shades. From caramel to ebony, there's such a range. Iman Cosmetics is for every woman and features a line of skincare products and cosmetics including 16 foundation shades, powder, concealer, lipstick, blush, eyeshadow, highlighter, and BB cream. Visit us at Lot 75 Swamp Section, Rosal Town. That's behind the market. Or call 337-4422 or 688-9249. Shh.
Welcome back. Parliament to reconvene on Monday.
Well, first of all, we need COVID-19 relief, because if for now people have to come out, and if they get a relief, they would stay home and the virus would go down. That is number one, because they said in their manifesto that they were going to give $50,000 towards the COVID-19 relief. But we ain't see nothing, the figures just keep rising. The nurses, they are at a disadvantage because they have to face whoever is infected with the COVID-19, so they need an additional incentive towards, because they are risking their life as well as their family life.
Yeah, my expectation for the budget, I feel that the government should put money in all aspects, because there is a need for everybody right now, and there's a lot of promises. I saw in the manifesto that whatever the government say they will do, and so long I did not see anything really going on right now, because I think the business economy dropped a lot. And I feel the government should put money in all aspects because to help out people.
Because the cost is getting high. You understand? And then with this estate, with this bank money, the money are coming, and the bank manager don't release the money. They press the money, they're in the bank, and then I release it yet.
Well, actually, guys, people have to need more money because what happened? The work we do now, achieve no kind of salary for the week. So that the money we work for, you can come out to buy no goods. So like you work 5 days, the money will come $10,000.
I think they should put more money in education. The children are home for how many months? And some of them can't even remember what was being taught to them, especially grade 1 and grade 2. So you need to put more money in education.
Shh. It's your new secret. The all-in-one weapon for perfecting imperfections and capturing flawless skin. A lot of brands forget women of color or just don't understand that we come in all shades. From caramel to ebony, there's such a range. Iman Cosmetics is for every woman and features a line of skincare products and cosmetics including 16 foundation shades, powder, concealer, lipstick, blush, eyeshadow, highlighter and BB cream. Visit us at Lot 75 Swamp Section, Rosal Town. That's behind the market. Or call 337-4422 or 688-9249. Shh.
And before we go, Cuban national and wife remanded to prison for alleged Ponzi scheme. Let's take a look.
Cuban national Yuri Garcia Dominguez and his wife Atika Ishmael were slapped with 19 charges when they appeared in the Vigilance and Sparandam Magistrates Court. The couple, who are the principal owners of Accelerated Financial Company, are said to have defrauded scores of Guyanese millions of dollars. When the matter was called before Magistrate Marissa Metahouse, the court heard that between May and July, Dominguez and Ishmael collected some $24.7 million from 13 persons on the false pretense in an alleged Ponzi scheme. They were both placed on $300,000 bail on each of the 13 charges. However, the couple were remanded on 6 charges filed against them in the Sparandam Magistrates Court before Magistrate Alicia George. Those charges are for obtaining money on the false pretense, which amounted to over $1 million. They were both remanded to prison by Magistrate George. All the charges were heard virtually by the magistrates. Outside the courtroom at Vigilance, the move to charge the couple was greeted with protests, with those on the picket line calling for their release.
Because he don't have a license. Because they rob people and give this man a license. Everybody make it a good living out of this man.
We not gonna get for it. He money we not mine now. So they got to free him. They got to free him today. Yes, got to free him. He never scammed nobody.
The pandemic, you will make plenty to keep people alive. He was the man make people have eat and live. Nobody else. Another like the man up, let the man call and give you a license that go back again, and people go start live together again.
He helping at 17,000 Guyanese he helping, and we want to be free.
Pandemic time he was helping out all of us, so we could eat and pay we bills.
It's illegal. Let them find you for the cooking with the rice.
Want him to be free?
Yes, he must be free and give him license to run his business. That's what they want. This is not illegal. This help out the poor people in Guyana.
Attorneys at law Glenn Hanuman and Dexter Todd both said it is a civil matter.
That were read today. A very important aspect that I sought to point out to the court is that in none of the charges was it alleged that a complainant had demanded the money back from the company and the company had refused to pay it back. What has happened here is that we've had widespread panic because of intervention by senior government functionaries, and people have been encouraged, those persons who have civil and private arrangements have been encouraged to make complaints of a criminal nature. So it is the same government, well maybe not the same government, but the government was instrumental in closing the accounts of the company. So in effect, they prevented money from coming back, but yet encouraged people to make reports about not being paid. And, you know, none of the allegations say that, you see, when persons who were supposed to receive the money after a month, many times they would ask the company to reinvest it, and reinvestment. So for me, it's not a criminal matter at all, it's a civil matter, and it has been blown completely out of proportion. The government as well as the police have encouraged us to try and settle these matters. Many of the complaints made today have already been settled financially. Unfortunately, the police didn't invite the complainants to come to court, so they can tell the court that they've already received some of their money?
We have advocated that these matters are private in nature. All the complaints that are made forms part of a contract. I have said it in court, I will now say it publicly. What the state has done is to impose themselves as a third party to a private contract, and they are forcibly allowing the course of a criminal nature to take shape, which ought not to be. If you have an opportunity to read the contract, you will understand that the parties have signed themselves to an agreement, and they have dictated in that contract as to how their businesses are to be conducted. Now, I will say that the company, first of all, let us be clear, we are dealing with a company as opposed to two separate individuals. The company has not been brought, but their agents or their directors have been brought to the court for actions of the company. Now, there are legal ramifications in relation to that, and the police have not crossed that hurdle. To bring the parties in their personal capacity before the court for a criminal charge that they are saying was clothed by a company invites a number of questions, a number of legal questions. I can say very clearly that the prospects of a success of this matter is very slim, because they will have to cross the hurdle of convincing any court of law that these matters arose out of a criminal nature and not of a private nature.
Free Uri! Free Uri! Free Uri! Free Uri! Free Uri! Free Uri! Free Uri!
The couple would make their next appearance on September 18th and 21st at the Spirandam and Vigilance Magistrates Courts.
And that has brought us to the end of our news for tonight. For these and other stories, visit our website at rdproductiongy.com or our Facebook and Instagram page at Royce and Drakes Production. On behalf of our news team, thank you for joining us, and join us again next week for more news. Good night.